Show has been pre-recorded.
Shut up and sit down. Shut up and sit down.
Couple, here comes the six. Yodel hangs on for two in a row.
Welcome. It's a Saturday night, another edition of Greyhound Race of the Week. I got a Christmas party to attend tonight, so this has been pre-recorded. So I apologize for there will be no interaction between the audience and myself, but we're going to put this show on the road nonetheless. Hope everybody's having a great Saturday night. Hope you're getting ready for Christmas. Let's start it out with a message from the National Greyhound Association.
Greyhound racing has been a part of American culture for over a century. Today the sport is under attack, but the farmers who have dedicated their lives to the racing greyhound are fighting back.
My name is Julia Ward. I am the first woman president of the National Greyhound Association. I am proud to tell you that I am a second-generation greyhound breeder and kennel operator. Just like my dad before me, I've dedicated my life to raising and racing greyhounds.
Greyhound racing is rich in family tradition, with a long history enjoyed by everyone from royalty to rookies. These canine athletes are born to run and race. They are cherished competitors, but they are also gentle, loving, and loyal family members.
This industry is my world, and I want to continue to see it be successful. I hope that we can continue to stay unified to work for the same goal, give the greyhound what they want, which is to run.
To help keep them running, make sure you spread the word. www.overturn13.org. www.overturn13.org. Donate today. If you can't donate, pass this along. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever gram, anywhere on social media. We are fighting, as she said, to keep the sport alive from all these special interests. And fight we will. Okay, so it is time. I guess we could consider that part of opening lines, but opening lines. And we go back to January. As much as I hate looking at myself, sort of gives a perspective of what we're doing and where it all began.
Working animals. He's got a message to tell you. It's a very important message. And Eric Holtz from United Grounds, but take it away, Steve.
Okay, thank you very much. As you may know, the Florida Constitution Revision Committee put Amendment 13 on the ballot, which in essence eliminates Greyhound Racing in Florida in 2021. Unfortunately, as a direct result of the lies, defamation, and the $3 million that Grey 2K and the Humane Society of the United States spent on misleading and blatantly false ads, along with the lies of certain CRC commissioners to shove this amendment through to the ballot, the public passed Amendment 13. We at overturn13.org and supportworkinganimals.org are in the process of retaining counsel and will sue the state of Florida in federal court as Amendment 13 violates several clauses of the U.S. and Florida constitutions. We are confident in our position and look forward to exposing the lies from certain CRC commissioners and animal rights activists under oath in a court of law. Thank you.
Steve, thank you very much. We value your work, and we thank you so much for supporting our greyhound industry.
Okay, that's where it all began back in January at the Naples 550. And we go to the latest PR from Support Working Animals. They announced the amendment to the lawsuit to overturn 13 after the defendant's meager attempt to dismiss the case. The state filed its motion to dismiss and recommends that the plaintiffs sell their race dogs or move out of state. Most of the plaintiffs do not have any other skill set because they have been working solely in the greyhound industry, being that the sport has been legal in the state of Florida for almost 100 years. Most are family businesses that have been passed down for 3 and 4 generations. For example, Deborah Elliott's grandfather began his prolific career at the historic Derby Lane and was one of the original pioneers in the Greyhound Hall of Fame. His business has spanned 4 generations. Upon his passing, the business was operated by his daughter, who passed it down to Deborah, who currently works with her son in the same business, her grandfather. Ben Jocks began more than 7 decades prior. With the prohibition of greyhound racing, Deborah Elliott's entire history will be wiped out. These stories are woven into the history of Florida. The state is playing past the buck with the enforcement of this legislation by claiming that since the Constitution Revision Commission passes legislation onto the voters, neither the governor, the state attorney general, nor the secretary of state has anything to do with it. They further claim that it is not their responsibility to create the civil or criminal liabilities to be assessed against those who fail to comply with the prohibition. The state's purpose in enacting this legislation was clearly a misdirected attempt to protect dogs, but now they claim the purpose of the legislation was to regulate gambling. This was purely a bait and switch on the Florida voters. When a citizen initiative is placed on the ballots, the legislature is required to alert its Florida voters of the financial impact of the legislation. Since this was not a citizen initiative, Florida voters had no idea of the financial impact of the passing of this legislation. So there you have the latest press release from Support Working Animals. Also, you go to overturn13.org. Just posted the court documents, the state's motion to dismiss. That will be their second one that came after the previous one, because the Support Working Animals filed an amended complaint, and then the SWA response. So you click on those, it'll take you to those copies, which are rather lengthy. So, but a lot of points are being made. So it looks like it looks like that's the wrong one for that one anyways. So I missed we'll get that corrected real quick, because that is not the right link. That actually goes back to the states. Oh wait, hold on, maybe I did get it right. But anyways, after I'm done recording this, we'll get, if there's a problem, we will get that fixed. Yep, I don't have SWAs up there. Okay, so we'll get that fixed. I'll try and get that fixed while we're moving on here. So basically, again, keep greyhounds racing. Overturn13.org, 2 websites that you need to keep in mind as we go further. And let's move on. All right, last week's winner let's move on to last week's winner, which was Man on the Prowl. Let's go back and take a look at that race.
Anderson's in motion. They're open racing in the 12th at the break. 2, 4, 7, 6, 5, 3, and 1. Around the turn they go. Hurricane Tanisha with the lead. The 4 Let Them Talk. The 6 is Man on the Prowl. It's 4, 6, 2, 7, 5, 1, 8. Around the turn, Man on the Prowl. Let Them Talk. 6, 4, 5, and 2. Man on the Prowl.
All right, last week's winner, Man on the Prowl. So here's what we got so far for week 14. After last week, we have the stakes race winners. Well, Kentucky Fly was our runner-up for last, so he's automatically in. Stakes racers, Flying Givenchy, Superior Tora, Imark Tequila, LK is Crushing It, Reverend Devon, and Max Trudeau. Our weekly winners have been Paint the Trail, Flat Chat Couple, Load the Bases, RTSS, These Dreams, She's a Little Runaway, Chillaxa Vacation, Manzano, Zia Fire, Rags to Riches, RTSS Gone with the Wind, KK Pinot Grigio, Flying Benelli, ATX Bugatti Black, and last week's winner, Man on the Prowl. And the People's Choices so far have been Kentucky Boy, Flying Tilapia, My Eyes, Adoria. So by my count, that's 23. So we're either going to do 24 or 32. It looks like we're going to do 24. So next week is the last week for the tournament, and then we'll put the brackets together. We'll take a week off for Christmas, and after the first of the year, I think it's what is the first Saturday in January will be the 4th. So we'll start the tourney. We'll get the brackets up. You can download them, fill them in, get them in by the 4th, or maybe we'll do the 11th. I don't know. We'll see. The 11th will give people more time to get those brackets in. So we will try that and play that by ear. But one more, we'll do 24 this time, and then start the second half tournament, and then we'll have Flamenco Dancer waiting in the wings. This week we've got 5. We've got 1 returner and 4 new ones. So let's get to the 5 races that you'll have to vote on for this week. The first one up is, I believe this is Steve Saris' dog, Wobble Baby.
Here comes Rusty. And off they go for race number 12. That's the 4 on top. 6 now separates. Ignition. It's 6 with the 8 up on the inside, 1 up on the rail. It's 6-8, 1 with the 4-3-2. Toe board they come. Now the 6 and 8 head to toe, even Steven. It's 6-8-1 with the 4-7. Round the turn, the 6 Ignition has a length lead over the 8 and the 1. Coming down the stretch, Ignition. Coming home, 1 up on the outside, but hold your tickets. We need a photo.
And that photo would go on to show that Wobble Baby was the winner in a blistering 29:48. All right, number 2 this week is B All-Star Ed.
Anderson's in motion. They're open racing in the 4th at the break. It's a 1-7-6-5, 8-2, 4 and 3. It's Fulham Cottage, the 7B All-Star Ed. RCK Zola second. Turbo Finley is third. It's 7-5-8-6-4-1-2 around the turn. B All-Star Ed. The 5 RCK Zola. B All-Star Ed. 2 in a row.
All right, 2 in a row there for B All-Star Ed. All right, a third one is Leo's dog. Here's the returner, over at Southland. What a great race this was. KB's Brawler.
The second race is over the Razorback course. Rusty is on the roll. Here comes Rusty. And they're off. With an excellent start, taking the early lead 8, Kodak Black. They made the turn. It's 1. Brawler with the lead. Past the grandstand. 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 4, 5, 6 is way back. Clubhouse turn. 1 Brawler out front. Second is 2. Prairie Sun. Third 4. Fern Gully. Backstretch. Well spaced. 1, 2, 4. Then 7, 3, 8, and 5. And then comes 7. They race to the far turn. It's 1 Brawler out front. 1, 2, 7, and 4. Around the far turn, down the stretch. 1, 2, and 7. It's 1 Brawler, closing out the double. Race for plays, 2 and 7.
All right, KB's Brawler. Leo Stillmock's dog there with a nice trip around. He's going to have a tough time, though, with this next one. I have a feeling we're going to get a lot of votes for this next one. Coming to us from Naples, Fort Myer. And here is Michael Coppola with the call.
Here comes Sparky. Hounds on the run in the third. They go right in the center of the track. Squeal like deal. Quickly by 3. Downey's going to pick up the chase in the 2 spot. Moving up is going to be the Shockwave. Right behind that's American Gospel. We're going to roll down the Bonita Beach backside. Squeal like deal. 6 to the good. Running the inside is the Shockwave, making up strides very lively. Launching from the back of the pack, it's going to be the Gladiator. But top of the lane, Squeal like deal, looking to get away and get it all. 3, 2, 5, 1. Third at Naples.
And there you have it. That dog's a winner, unlike the real Thiel, who is the biggest loser on the face of the earth. Squeal like Thiel comes in first in that race in Naples. All right, number 5, and the last one we have tonight is Flying German out of Derby Lane.
Harrison's in motion. They're off and racing at the break. It's a 1, 6, 8, 7, 2, 3, 4, and 5 around the turn. It's Next Boyfriend, the leader. The 8 is LK Santorini second. Oh yeah, Elvira third. Shoot the Breeze is fourth. The 5 is Flying German. It's 1, 8, 6, 5, 4, 2, 3, and 7. They'll head for home. Next Boyfriend, Flying German. It's close.
And it would go on to be Flying German, paying $644.83.40. Great trip there. A lot of great, all of them this week. So let's take a look at all of the races.
Ignition has a length lead over the 8 and the 1. Coming down the stretch, Ignition. Coming home, 1 up on the outside, but hold your tickets. We
All-Star Ed, the 5 RCK Zola. B All-Star Ed, 2 in a row.
They race to the far turn. It's 1 Brawler out front. 1, 2, 7, and 4. Around the far turn, down the stretch. 1, 2, and 7. It's 1 Brawler, closing out the double. Race for plays, 2 and 7.
He's backside, Squeal like deal, 6 to the good. Running the inside is the Shockwave, making up strides very lively. Launching from the back of the pack, it's going to be the Gladiator. But top of the lane, Squeal like deal, looking to get away and get it all. 3, 2, 5, 1. Third at Naples.
6, 5, 4, 2, 3, and 7. They'll head for home. Next Boyfriend, Flying German. It's close.
All right, there's our 5 for this week. Wobble Baby, Be All-Star Ed, KB's Brawler, Squeal Like Thiel, oh boy, and Flying German. I'm not going to go there. Again, the dog is the winner, and the human version is the biggest loser in the face of this earth. So, if you're watching, Carrie, yeah, you're the biggest effing loser on the face of the earth. That must feel real good to you. Can't wait to see you up on the stand in court. And hope to God you lie and they put you away for a few days. I have a feeling you wouldn't last in prison at all. But we can all dream, can't we? Again, as you know, I think I find myself somewhat intelligent. I'm not a lawyer, but as I read the state's response, I mean, they want to take no responsibility for the CRC and how this unconstitutional amendment got on the ballot. You can't just go to court and just fluff it off on everybody else because there's nobody left. Those are the three parties that basically not only enforce the laws of our state, and as you will see in the support working animals response, DeSantis can't run away from this amendment challenge because he's already stuck his nose in Amendment 4, which is the former criminals coming out of getting out of serving their sentence, they get done serving their sentence and getting their right to vote back. So he's already stuck his nose legislatively in that amendment. The legislature is responsible for writing the penalties for people who violate Amendment 13, which is now Article whatever in the Constitution. Also, when you talk about the CRC, basically the top legislator, I think it's in the House or Senate, appointed members, and that's how Tom Lee got there. The governor appoints members to the CRC, and the Attorney General is an automatic seat, which lying Pam Bondi, the AG at the time, was appointed automatically. And funny, we didn't see her at one meeting. So they say that these meetings were public hearings, but you know what? I still wish, I'm going to put out a plea, okay? If anybody has the picture, and this meeting took place before the public meetings did up in Tallahassee, where the CRC met, and basically on the TV screens in the Capitol and whatever room they were in had all the Gray 2K logos on the TV. Anybody has that, our lawyers, I'm sure, would be interested in that picture as well. I'm sure there's got to be somebody out there that snapped that photo there that was there. Man, that would go a long way. And basically, I think there's enough evidence already to prove that the fix was in. So we all know the fix was in. The trick is going to be convincing this judge, and it looks like we got Judge Walker, who seems to be a fair guy. Instead of having, Bondi's henchmen in the Supreme Court do what they did, when there was no way that language should have went on the ballot. But whatever, I believe there's enough. There's definitely enough on our side to basically, dispute whatever the state is trying to pull. I mean, they don't want to go through with this. And maybe they don't want to go through because they know they're going to lose, okay? But the evidence is just so much there to prove, and it's in the own CRC transcripts. I mean, if you've got like 40 or 50 hours to go through all of them, or at the very minimum go through the last two, which was March or April, when they were having the final. In March they had the one vote, which was very close, and then all of a sudden they came back in April and voted 27-10 or whatever the hell it was, after there was only a 3-vote difference. So we know full well that there was chicanery going on there. I mean, you can, like I say, you read the transcripts. I mean, if you've ever got some time, it's a joke. I mean, it really is a joke. Especially when they're if it comes in the court where the judge wants evidence of abuse of the dogs, which is basically what the state now in their new argument is trying to say, that they were trying to say they were protecting the dogs, and now all of a sudden it's about controlling gambling. Well, we all know that every other thing is legal: horses, high lie, harness racing, all the poker rooms and all that. And then if you're trying to regulate gambling, you're not going to be trying to get around Amendment 3 to see how you're going to put sports betting in the state of Florida. So that doesn't hold too much water. But hopefully the judge sees through the state's weak ass, I'm going to say it, weak ass argument, because I think it's weak. It doesn't address anything. They're trying to get around the amendment that says that you can't sue the state. Well, you can't, unless, of course, the state has enacted a constitutional amendment that goes against the federal Constitution. See, out in Colorado, I think there was a constitutional amendment overturned because it banned gay marriage, and it was North or South Carolina too. I think it was North Carolina, I don't know. But one of the two Carolinas that also the people passed a gay marriage ban, which is directly conflicted with the U.S. Constitution, and it was ruled unconstitutional. So, well, the same premise is going on here, is that the state made what we believe is an unconstitutional law. And yes, the state made it, because the CRC is related to the state. There's no way in God's green effing earth that you can say that the Constitutional Revision Commission of the state of Florida has nothing to do with the state, because it's in via the Constitution, and now there's everybody and their mother's uncle legislators who work for who? The state of Florida, that want to get rid of the Constitution Revision Committee. The Constitution Revision Committee is appointed. Some are appointed by the head legislator in the House or the Senate. I forget which one. Okay, some are appointed by the governor. Who does he work for? The state of Florida. Who do the legislatures in the House? Who's the head guy? They all work for the state. Okay. The Supreme Court nominates 3, and that's one of the ones, Orinthia Joyner and Hank Cox, and I forget the third one that was appointed by the Supreme Court. Who do they work for? Where do they get their paycheck from? The state of Florida. And the Attorney General, who is automatically on the CRC. Well, gee, who the hell signs her paycheck? Oh, it's the state of Florida. So how can the state of Florida come and say that they don't have anything to do with this amendment? So, I call bullshit. So whatever. That's it for this week. The poll will be up at 9:30. And like I said, this has been pre-recorded. Thanks a lot for taking part out of your Saturday night to watch, and we will catch you all next week.
Shut up and sit down.
Down the stretch for the birthday boy. There's one skip. Solo at 12-1. Flamenco dancer.
Shut up and sit down.
The show has been pre-recorded.